Welcome to Spain, or as I like to call it, Hell on Earth. Today we'll truly be putting the pain in Spain. Just you see. Alright, before we get into this, let's take a look at what was sent in. So this was sent in on disastersavior.com, a little bit of a description. Long story short, he wanted the Gibraltar achievement. The situation went poorly when Germany stalled Barb. Now, instead of apparently fully committing to the war, you sent volunteers that couldn't push on the Eastern Front. Okay, you did repel D-Day and Italian invasions and then massive landing in Italy. You know, a lot of people take a very total war approach to this, where you either have full victory or we just retreat and lose and continue to fight. No, use the terrain to your advantage. Italy is super narrow. You can stall a massive army with a relatively small force. Just ask Kesselring. He failed to stop the German collapse. You tried to counter a push, but you lost 4 tanks. Great. And then you gave up. You built a navy and it's been performing pretty well. I like that. You still hold North Africa. It's not that valuable. And you're getting bombed as you will. I hate this sentence so much because it's 1945. If you still have room to grow economically, what the hell have you been doing for the past 9 years? Anyway, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Let's go.
Today is the day we fight back.
It's already 10 o'clock.
Oh, you're right. Tomorrow is the day we fight back.
Yeah, well, good luck, sister. All our modern technology is useless.
I know I am.
Hey, wait. I'm having one of those things. You know, a headache with pictures.
An idea?
I have disabled several of the DLCs that this person didn't have, so no Arms Against Tyranny, meaning no MIOs, no Götterdämmerung, and no compromise, no surrender. First, the army. You have 20 divisions. No offense, I don't mean to be rude, but what the fuck have you been doing for the last 9 years if this is your army? This. 20 divisions, and they're not even fantastic divisions. This is chaff to hold the line. You have 1 tank. They are of a reasonable template, and then you have like 55 divisions of this even more chaffy chaff. Front line is unsustainable. Fall back to the Pyrenees forts. You've already lost 2 of those tiles, but we can sort of piece a defense together. We still have a lot of last stands to do. We're gonna fall back from these northern pocket. We are leaving. Secondly, garrisons. You are garrisoning a lot of stuff. You shouldn't be garrisoning Spanish Morocco. You shouldn't be garrisoning Spanish Western Sahara. They're not in the war. And then just garrison Portugal because I know Portugal's in the war. Strategic situation here. You should not have built this port. You've been pushed off Tripoli. It happens. It's fine. So what did you do? You fell back here to Jabez and built a naval base so you could stay here. This forces the AI to fight you right next to their supply base. These guys are not taking attrition. They're having no problem supplying these troops, and they will attack and they will eventually push you. When that inevitably happens, you lose this port and supply hub. Guess who gets to use that port and supply hub to now push further into Tunis? If that wasn't there, you could just put 2 units on this tile, 2 units on that tile, 2 units on that tile, and you could have a totally sustainable defense of the entirety of Tunisia and Algeria with 6 divisions that would all be out of supply range for Tripoli. By building this naval base, you have given them the tools they need to take North Africa. So we'll try to defend this as best we can. So we're going to fall back a little bit, hold on to the tiles there. I don't know how much is going to help. I'm going to try build some forts on there. In fact, I'm going to switch all of these units over to infantry divisions. Construction. We're building those forts I just mentioned earlier because I do want to hold on to that port. Burgos is building civs. It's 1945. You're not building civs. Now, what we're going to be building is a bunch of military factories as well as reinforced electrical grid to reduce our energy/coal needs, because coal is a giant pain in the ass in disaster saves, especially late game. So let's take, for instance, Madrid here. So I'm going to delete the fuel silo and I'm going to replace it with a reinforced electrical grid. Once that thing is built, we're going to be spending a lot less power, meaning a lot less coal on this state. And we'll do the same in other places. Is this a brilliant idea? Honestly, I don't know. I'm just trying something. Production. So, few notes here. It's 1945, and I don't care what the meta says, you shouldn't be building equipment 1 by now. This is a waste. Secondly, you're making both advanced medium tanks and improved medium tanks. Please, for the love of God, make 1. The only thing that going up a hull level does is increase the base reliability. It just affects how many tanks you lose outside of combat in attrition. If your tanks are taking attrition, they're in the wrong place. They did recently say they patched that by adding a small attrition check whenever an armor unit or just a unit in general moves, meaning reliability might actually be worth having now. That said, a few notes on your tank design, my friend. Never take cast armor in single player. Definitely not on mediums. Riveted. It's so much cheaper, and the difference in effectiveness is effectively nil for the AI. But maybe we take gasoline engines and torsion bars instead. Just put a heavy machine gun on it. This keeps your reliability around 80%, which is where you're never going to realistically take losses. This is way cheaper, so we'll run with these, I think. And we're going to taper off the other medium tanks. We'll be making guns, but I think I can get away with taking a lot of guns off my Portuguese compatriots. I don't need infantry equipment 1. We need more artillery. We need more advanced anti-air. You're building improved heavy ship. By the time this finishes, it won't matter anymore. This war is not going to be won at sea. If the Navy matters, it's going to be 5 years from now when we've pushed and we need to invade the UK. So no. Now, I could accommodate this and just put you down to 1 factory. So at least, you know, this still is there. And then just convoys, 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 convoys. The Navy we have is... it's not terrible. So if you're going to run a Navy, never put submarines into the surface fleet. They will slow the entire Navy down to the speed of the slowest ship. It's like 13.5 knots. So your armor units are fine. What I could do is switch these out for mechanized so you have more HP in these tanks. Maintenance companies I'm going to remove, and signal companies I'm going to remove. Org is fine. Other stats are fine. 36 with. Okay. I would switch the engineers out for assault engineers. They're just better in every conceivable way. We'll look at the basic infantry first, your frontline unit. So combat with is fine. I like this as well. Basically a solid block of infantry, a staunch line of spears, if you will. One problem, its staunchness is somewhat undermined by the fact you've added signal companies. Signal companies are expensive, and a frontline unit like this, it should be a cheap unit designed to stand there and take punishment. So support artillery, good. Support engineers, I like him. Other people don't. You want support anti-air in these divisions because I know you don't have an air force. And support AA is good for 2 things. It can pierce almost any early game AI unit, and it massively reduces the enemy's cast effectiveness. So it's a no-brainer. Now, in the current circumstance, I am tempted to get maintenance companies as well, because maintenance companies allow us to steal equipment. Strategically taking equipment to alternate locations is going to be one of the main ways we are able to supply this entire army. We'll take them out once we're a little more secure in terms of our industry. And these are your port guards. They're too big. We'll take 1 unit out, leave them at 12 combat with, and once again, take the fucking signal companies out. They're too expensive. They serve no purpose in these units. Save that. It should conserve a lot of equipment. Let's look at doctrines. You have gone mobile warfare. I hate mobile warfare. That's not true. I love mobile warfare. But it would have been objectively better to get Grand Battle Plan. It is what it is. I'm not going to switch the whole thing out now. That would be probably a little bit detrimental to the whole campaign. Now, what I am going to switch out is Great War Infantry. This is just not that good. The bonus is... okay. Ooh, land fort construction speed. Whoop-de-fucking-do. No, sorry. These are just not that great. I'm going to go with large unit tactics. Those big beefy units really do it for me. So I'm going to unlock that. And deep battle, I don't like deep battle. It buffs armored cars, whoop-de-fucking-do. On the other hand, if we take grand assault, this just buffs everything in a way that makes sense. More max planning. Planning is king. So grand assault is strictly better. Get grand assault. Now, our army is going to be slightly worse while we get those new doctrines up and running, but we'll take it. Designs. So, like I said before, I like beefy infantry. This has been very enlightening, playing No Compromise, No Surrender. Since they added this, I've become a thick boy enjoyer. Combat width of 30.6. This is a very, very hefty unit. It has a lot of org, but it has a very high concentration of stats. This, for infantry, is actually a really good unit. It's not super cheap, but it does its job really well. So we're going to save that, and then we're going to train a couple of additional units as well. How many can I get away with? 24? I've almost forgot there's one more thing I want to do here. I'm going to take 2 of your spare factories. I'm going to go into your advanced medium tank design. Gonna replace the howitzer, good pick, with a flamethrower designated as a flame support company. Yeah, we'll run with these. Trade. We're gonna try not to import fuel. Steel we could probably get from Spanish Morocco. And then coal we're gonna have to import until we get the techs sorted out to reduce our coal need. Speaking of research, we're working on improved submarines. A little late, not now. Let's instead grab industry. So we're gonna get this energy gain per coal tech. We're gonna get 2 of them. We have bonuses for it. It is simply gonna help the economy out a lot. We need to move into synthetic oil experiments. A little bit of it to get the oil from oil processing, giving us some fuel, but most of it so we can get our own source of rubber. Political situation. We're going to stop naval production. We'll grab army training just so we can cram out that extra army real quick. What we're going to do then is not take a focus because we have changes to make here. So our allies are Portugal and everyone else is dead. And our 2 puppets here, they are not in the war. We're going to keep them out of the war. All right, we're going to let an hour tick by. There we go. The industry has updated. We'll import all of the steel we can get from Spanish Morocco. It's going to be the least susceptible to convoy raiding, I believe. Maybe. And over here, we're going to do some last stand memes. We're going to hit last stand, and then I'll reassign the unit to the front line. It will retain the last stand buff. It's just a little more clean in terms of organization. Let's get these guys out. We are leaving. Let's check Portugal. Request some lend-lease. Can you send me some guns? Yes, they'll send me I think they'll send me everything. Salazar, 16,000 guns and a bunch of other stuff. Really good. Let that come in. And I'm going to cancel this last run of 4 divisions. Now I just got to shore up the defense. Now, in a perfect world, I could stage an offensive myself. Cut through here, take Toulouse and the railway to that supply hub, and we would secure this. It's very unfortunate that the numbers are what they are because the... A lot of potential here. And now we just gotta hurry up and get these guys deployed so we can shore up that front line. I wish these guys would not all get themselves killed. What if I shepherd them out using one of my tanks? It's too far out of position to make an impact. It's gonna arrive too late. They're gonna get cut off near Bayonne. Yep, there we go. Expected it. Oh well, I guess the Axis troops are just dead. Fuck them. If they wanted to live, they should have been more competent. Alright, so on the bright side, we've got these guys ready to deploy. They're gonna be green, and they're going to be terrible, but they will be bodies on the line. That is another army. I am gonna have a manpower problem, so I'll need to allot some political power for that. But we have something of a defense going that should hold for a while. Just need to get these doctrines pumped up to their big numbers again. What I could do is get the submarines, like, get them out here patrolling or convoy raiding, either way, and just do not engage. And I'll put the Navy out on strike force. Now, even strike force costs a metric ton of fuel, so this is just not going to be a long-term thing. But whenever I can sink a small fleet, probably worth doing. As soon as we can get these divisions to the front line, at least, it will help. That's extra manpower. What I also did was change a couple of occupation laws for Algeria and Tunis to forced labor so we can get... Oh, yeah, this place. Algiers to forced labor so we can get the maximum amount of steel out of there. This way I can make do with Moroccan imports and whatever steel is in my country. I'm going to see if I have a little opportunity here. This looked relatively weak, so I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of a punch going. I was going to say I can deprive these guys of some of their supply, but no. No, I'll take that little tile here. And there goes the Japan peace deal. That was to be expected. There was no way Japan was going to live. Now there are 2 Japans. You know what? I'll take it. I would like to see the Chinese go to war with the Chinese and somehow drag the Allies and Comintern into war against each other. That will be the best outcome. Might queue up another tank. I'm short... Oof. 500 tanks. Not ideal. We need to beef up our production numbers significantly. Speaking of production numbers, what am I missing? So I've got a nice big shipment in from my friends in Portugal. Oh, I might have forgotten. Yeah, one of the next techs I'm going to grab is the improved maintenance companies, because those maintenance companies will allow me to steal more stuff. And if I get maintenance companies too, I get easy maintenance on my tanks, make my tanks cheaper, get more tanks. Tanks is the only way that I could realistically win. On the right side, like, the entire border is green. This will not last, though. We're gonna get worn down eventually as manpower and equipment levels dip. Alright, so it begins the great naval invasions of our time. I have no reserves. I have a tank unit on the other side of the front that I'm going to railroad in. Peel what little units I can off this front. One unit here, one unit there. Which reminds me, I'm probably going to have to turn this into Festung Hispanian by building a shit ton of land forts and coastal forts. Because holy shit, am I going to get destroyed if I don't. We'll let the armor beat them up, and then I'll use the infantry to close the pocket, because the infantry has the magical stuff that steals equipment. Let's just mop this up. At least that is, what, 6, 7? Oh, don't do the meme. At least that is like a couple of divisions out of my hair this way. And there's the next. Holy shit, this is just fucked. Here's the next wave. 21 divisions hitting Palma de Mallorca, another 5 hitting the other island there. Convoy raid and strike force for all the fuel we have left. Buy me time. Another naval invasion we've stopped here, so it's just going to be naval invasions the game for the foreseeable future. That's a carrier fleet. They're running away. I've got to admit to the person who sent this in, like your fleet. Unfortunately, it's not going to matter long term. We're going to have to go up another recruitment law. I don't like it, but I have very few alternative options. Yeah, we're really butchering these fleets. Holy crap, I love it. Shame it's not going to win us the war, but that's a fun toy to play around with. So, it would appear by simply switching this massive task force from their first task of strike force to just convoy raiding, they've taken massive chunks out of these naval invasion fleets. Half of the stack's gone, and what's left is severely attrited down to basically nothing. Unfortunately, I don't have the fuel to do this permanently, but that took one hell of a bite out of these naval invasions. Okay, gotta remember, that fleet is worth its weight in gold. Unfortunately, up north here, the situation's not that great. They got a lot of boys up there, and the boys be hitting me hard. I'm having trouble recovering organization. I'm at least recovering some manpower. I'm mobilizing more troops. Okay, China's starting to declare war on the warlords. Is this gonna matter? Maybe one of them joins a faction and this whole thing spirals out of control into some sort of mess. That would be the best outcome, but now I'm at war with China. Apparently the Soviets have called the Republic of China. Holy shit, Mao's in the Comintern, and he has a war goal. He might just pull the trigger. They got non-aggression pacts though, so I doubt it. Well, there's the one China policy. Xinjiang's just joined the Comintern, so I believe China, well, it's gonna go to war with the Comintern. I doubt this is gonna spark the war I had hoped for, because China's not in the Allies. It might just prove a little bit of a distraction, but I'm not concerned about the Soviets. I'm concerned about the massive amount of allies. Not what I was hoping for. I'm seeing a lot of people suddenly leave the border. They're all marching north, which has me concerned that something's up that I've missed. The Soviets are trying to puppet... No way. Holy shit, he did it. He must have canceled the non-aggression pacts. Or one of the non-aggression pacts must have run out and he's just declared war on Greece. I mean, that gives us a shot, because that means Stalin's going to be a massive distraction for the Allies. If we can capitalize on this mass repositioning of troops now to take some land, take some supply hubs. Oh, there goes Warsaw. Maybe? You know, if we don't try, we'll lose anyway. Yeah, Soviet war on Kingdom of Greece. War goal, puppet Kingdom of Greece. Why, though? If I can take the line Bordeaux, Toulouse, and then that supply hub, we have a defensive line that is not directly in our country, and it's gonna put the enemy at like more of a supply disadvantage, sort of. So maybe we're in no real shape to do a whole bunch of fighting, but we can like give it a shot at least. And I'm training up a couple more divisions, couple more tanks. The Lend-Lease from Portugal flows still, so that's going to be useful. I don't think we'll be able to get all of these guys and like achieve our full goals. That would be great if we could, but no. But we can make it quite difficult for them. So we're going to try to like make our way to Tripoli. The Chinese have joined the UK. Jesus Christ, this is what... Oh my god, this is so stupid. We're gonna need more boys. A lot more boys, a lot more industry. How are stockpiles looking? Fairly decent, but that is just me getting a lot of stuff from Portugal, and I'm burning through that stuff in a rather alarming rate. Let's go ask Portugal again for a small donation of 1 million guns. Right, if we can punch through there in a perfect world, that would allow us to at least make our way to Tripoli. Over here, things are solidifying again. So that slight moment where everything was a little up in the air has passed, alas. But we did get a somewhat more solid footing out of this. I don't know if I should be able to, call this a pocket. It's not much, but it's something. And then we make our way to Tripoli. It's an advance. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's better than sitting there and waiting to die. And I am horribly out of manpower. I'm still mobilizing. It's going to just take a while. Sweet. That gives us Tripoli. Huzzah. Let's plug it into the railway network so I don't have to ship convoys out here. I'll give that over to my Italian friends so they have somewhere to dock their navy. Oh, wait, their navy's probably stuck because of this strait. In any case, I'm going to give them a little bit of land so I don't have to occupy it. Now, some of these positions are simply untenable, so I'm going to fall back. Others are less untenable. They are attacking. Let's exploit that. Push forward. Not a giant amount of change. I would have expected either a red tide because they got the drop on them, or just the Suez getting absolutely demolished. It does look fairly straightforward, as long as you don't look at China. We don't look at China. Well, considering just how few troops are out here now, I'm gonna see how far I can get before things derail, or I just get stuck. Yes, encirclement. Oh, Pog champ. All right, let's just push up, see if we can get to Benghazi. If we can, brilliant. That is a stepping stone towards Egypt, but let's not hold our breaths here. This place is starting to heat up again. I've got 6 additional divisions. I'm either going to need them over there to continue the push, or more likely over here to shore up. This is actually going remarkably well. That is Tobruk. It's going to give us a lot of ports to guard, but we did catch a lot of allied troops with their pants down. And with Tobruk secured, that is a stepping stone into Egypt. So if we can take the Suez, we'll have Gibraltar and the Suez. We can turn the Med into a killing field for our navy. If I can control the Med, I can take these islands back eventually. In Europe, things are different. I don't know who's going to win this. It's not looking too pretty either way. Yeah, we'll have to see how this ends up going. I've gone to Portugal and get them a license for armored trains, so I don't have to research them myself. And I'm making armored trains now because they're bombing my trains pretty badly. Ooh, another pocket. Yes. I wonder if we could make it to Alexandria, because they've got a naval base now in Marsa Matru, so this is no longer just a giant desert to cross. More support companies, more maintenance. With maintenance companies too, I can go to my advanced mediums, and I will replace the wet ammunition storage with the easy maintenance. It makes them slightly less reliable, but considerably cheaper. Unfortunately, things are somewhat collapsing over here. Yeah, we are like at El Alamein again. Maybe Spanish troops can seize it and use it as a staging point for operations towards Alexandria. What I could do, I don't want to do this, but I could switch out Grand Assault for Desperate Defense for another 5%. But that's going to be real desperate. I'd rather have Grand Assault for all the stats it gives me. We've almost finished up this one as well. So we're army's getting into some really decent combat shape at least. God, I have to apologize. This fleet, I complain about it. It's saying it's not going to win us the war. It just might. Look at what it does whenever it sallies out. Like, I set its convoy rating just because I wanted to engage these naval invasions, and it always catches out an enemy fleet that tries to support it. And whenever this thing touches an enemy fleet, it annihilates it. This might just give us control of the Mediterranean in the long run. And, well, naval invasions become a whole lot less troublesome when they just disintegrate. And I'll start pushing them off some of these tiles. If I attack them right after they attack us, they're relatively weak, and especially when they're also in an attacking combat, they get another debuff. Oh yeah, that's another US fleet about to be disintegrated. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do want to push past this, but I'm afraid we just don't have the strength right now. I have to be careful with the fuel, though. We don't really have a lot of fuel, and the only oil is like over here. And the Repubblica Sociale Italiana, Mussolini's jackasses, they're not really capable of leveraging it. They got no guns, they got nothing, they can't really do anything with this territory. I shouldn't have given it to them. And I've asked, they won't give it back to me. We might have to use some sort of force attack. Let's get some planning, and then we'll try to push past Alexandria. I have been converted to the light cruiser meta. I see it for what it is, and what it is the solution to our problems. Another problematic naval invasion. This is on the wrong side, so I can easily protect the med, but it's a little far away for the fleet to catch them there. Let's get the armor in there to stave off the inevitable. I'm getting another armor division done in like a couple of hours. Still, I got 2 armor units now. That is a world of difference. And on the bright side, insofar as there is a bright side to all this, I think we might make it to Alexandria. Head south to there, you head south to there. Don't really have the amount of troops I'd like to have, but this will at least provide us with a possible staging area to hit Alexandria from. What if I go around Alexandria and isolate it? Yes. Alright, got them encircled. You guys head over there. Make sure this whole thing gets buttoned up. Over here, the naval invasion is being cleaned up. Fortunately, they never took a naval base, but this was a lot of troops. Might just give the armor maintenance company so I can steal all that equipment they're dumping. And with Alexandria secure, we'll have a local supply hub as well. Let's plug that into the network. All right, that is another pocket and secured. Sweet. You're never going to believe this. Mussolini did something useful. He took this tile of the Suez, which means it is now contested, and if it's contested, the Allied fleets are stuck in the Suez, considering I control Gibraltar, and baby, we're going hunting. I'm going to sink everything in this area. I will kill them all. If Italy wants to push ahead, Italy can push ahead, but they're going to push ahead on their own. All right, time for a little expedition. I'm going to see if I can punch the armor forward. Move towards creating an encirclement there. Vichy France, could you just hold on to that, if you will? I really don't want to bother. Italy, do you actually have anything yet? You have manpower? Oh, you took over high compliance Egypt. In which case, you know, we can push maybe a little bit further. Is this a potential pocket? It is a potential pocket. The armor is incredibly based and armor pilled. Come on. Yeah, they got actual armor divisions that I might have trouble piercing. And they are not having any trouble piercing us. Alright, got him. Got him, got him, got him, got him. That's a pocket. Immediate assault on that pocket. Oh, ho, ho. Almost got caught with my pants down. Fortunately for me, the pants are now back up. That naval invasion is an issue. God, I love this icon. This portrait. Why does he look like he's wondering what my feet taste like? Italy's genius knows no bounds. I secure for them the Suez Canal intact, fully operational. Italy's answer to that, despite, you know, the area being firmly under our control, is to blow the whole thing up. You know what? I don't even care. We still control Gibraltar. That effectively turns the Mediterranean into a closed tub. And we are going hunting in that tub. We need to get a push going. Gotta take southern France so we can get Vichy in the fight, sort of. Because we cannot do this on our own. We just don't have the manpower. So this is so good. Now that I have 2 tanks... we're actually able to push in very concentrated spots. They're able to fill the combat with, at least, so that has allowed us to take Toulouse, the supply hub up there. Republic of Mahab has capitulated. I don't really care. So we're gonna need to keep pushing hard because the Soviets are going to eventually die. This entire section's cut off. The Soviets are just getting consumed. I need to get as much strength back as I can before the whole thing collapses in on itself. That's another section cut off. That gives the French control of Bordeaux. Very pretty, hein? Aquitaine. Another couple of pockets, and that sets us up slightly more defensively. I wish I could just run into France. I don't have the manpower for this, and we're almost mobilized out. Still good damage, though. Well, if we're gonna make anything happen here, we're gonna have to be bold, we're gonna have to do big maneuvers. Holy shit, Germany pushed out. Yeah, that's gonna get you killed, Germany. The armor is competent enough, it's strong enough. I don't really want to deploy them, but it's better to have this thing being green than this thing not existing at all. So let's see what the armor can do. Let's get some limited encirclements in the meanwhile, where we try to do the bigger one. Because if we go too big, like here, we risk overextension. Oh yeah, this is not good. Okay, so at least I've taken that place. Then from here, push that Indian division and then head to La Rochelle. I'm having trouble importing some oil now as well. I'm spending a lot of sis trying to squeeze every drop of oil out of Latin America, but they've just been sinking a lot of my transports. The armor is so close. Unfortunately, we've completely bricked up. There's no supply up there. Well, we got this little encirclement. It's something, and that will allow us to advance further. Okay, then we're never touching La Rochelle. They've got too many divisions there. We're so close to closing that pocket. Come on. I hate to do it, but I want to force attack. Oh, they keep pouring units out. Stupid tanks. Come on. Oh, it's because of the fuel. I've wasted the strength of these tanks. I was stupid. I was arrogant. Should have just done an infantry push. A lot less costly. I just wasted 500 tanks for literally no reason. Man's hubris knows no bounds. That is La Rochelle. Okay, let's move up to Tours. Tours. The armor is still licking its wounds, but I can still make it useful, I think, if I push from Tours north to, like, Le Havre. I wonder what Germany's doing over there. Huh, they're still alive. Shocking, really. We are moving up. We'll complete the encirclement, sort of, and the infantry is going to help clean that up. And every encirclement we get this way should at least get us some equipment as well. Of course, this can all be toppled by a single bad maneuver. Knowing my luck, I've used up all my luck, I think, getting Stalin to declare that war. So, that is Lorient, and then up there, Brest, secure, huzzah. Our beloved friend, Philippe Pétain is running an actual country again, sort of. He's got 1 million men, he's got factories, he's got, maybe not really an army, but he's gonna be able to get one. Oh dear God, I've got no convoys. I wish Vichy France would move its damned capital, so I could trade steel with Vichy France over land instead of having to do it via sea. I have no idea where their damn capital is. That's a naval invasion sound. Where is it? Oh no. I am about to run out of fuel as well. So we're going to have to be quick about it. All right, mopped up. See if we can touch up there. Let's get the armor rolling. We'll sit on the river line if we have to play it defensively. And another nice bonus encirclement from this as well. Yeah, I'm stealing a lot of equipment doing this, but the fuel is now all gone. Let's take stock. So I've liberated most of France, got Spain under control. Italy is on the map in some capacity. Holy shit, Paris is open. I'm going in, boys. Paris est ouvert. En avant, mes amis, en avant. Now, if I take Paris, and they somehow conspire not to actually make that their capital, I don't know what to tell you. Again, it's still not their capital. What's it gonna take for Pétain to move his damn capital? I simply do not understand. It is so stupid. Okay, if not Paris, then do you want actual Vichy then? Is that it? No, it will not. Why are they still that close to capitulation? Is it because the actual land they have as owned isn't here? I'm gonna have to go down south, aren't I? Maybe Lyon. Another little pocket. It's gonna be little pockets until we can make another grand sweeping maneuver. You know, we're doing much better than we were like a year ago. Ooh, the fall of Moscow already. Barbarossa 2.0 is going way too well. Maybe I can make it to the Swiss border. If I can. Magnifique. Take Lyon, so we'll have supply in the region. And we've made it to the Swiss border. I do want to be aggressive in the south just to make a little bit of a push here, if and when we can. And up north, this is also very thinly held, just an all-out infantry offensive. Free France has capitulated. Huzzah! Let's just let this play out and see what the occupation ends up looking like, because this is a disgusting mess. Ah, they got a unit in on the Maginot. Come on, push it off. Push it off. No, I don't think we can. I think it was just a little bit too slow in securing the Maginot line. All right, let's take a breather. We'll take stock. Maybe I can actually overrun Italy. It's just 27 divisions, so this is not a big push. But you don't really need a big push to take them out. I have mobilized all my men, though. This has cost me a very significant amount of manpower. I don't want to do it, but I think I might have to go to All Adult Serve, but I can't because of war support. Oh, no. Okay, we're going to have to get war support somewhere. Let's not queue those guys up, then. Yeah, I don't get this. I have Vichy fully liberated. I think it's literally because they must be at most 10% towards capitulation. They are currently at 2%. They can reinstate themselves whenever they want. They just don't seem to want to. I think it might be because I'm occupying Algiers, and I don't really want to give it back to them because this is Iron Man. If this doesn't fix it, I lose the control of all of this very, very precious steel I've been building up in Algiers. Why is there only 43 divisions there? Why is my army that small? I do have a bit of a problem with forces. I just don't have the numbers, and the manpower is gone. The war support's gone. Soviets are just falling apart. That will give us the liberation of Sicily and the rest of Italy. Lord knows how I'll defend it. Italy, I believe, is now uncapitulated? No, they're still capitulated, because why? I don't care. Maybe they'll now give me some land back, because if I can ask for, I don't know, Alexandria and Cairo. Oh, they give me that back, I believe, and I can suck that area dry of manpower. You know, I'll take the military governor for 8% manpower. I get 100,000 men from it, allegedly. War support's up because of spending political power on like those decisions up here. Huzzah! I hate to do this. I'm going to absolutely neuter what's left of mine industries. We're going to all adult serve. The armor kind of slices through these divisions. So even though they have 1 billion divisions on every tile, I can push them out quickly enough, provided I'm not perpetually pinned in place, that it doesn't matter. And I can, like this, I can just shunt them away. This has already been a magnificent clawback thanks to the Chad in Moscow, who's now in Gorky and who will soon be in Chelyabinsk, but I don't know how long I can sustain this, honestly. So the war has not necessarily turned to Spain's advantage. I am being pressed everywhere. Maybe not Egypt. Egypt's basically just done nothing, but the Low Countries campaign has been a disaster. I'm losing men as quickly as I'm mobilizing them. This has cost me 500,000 men, I think, just this little section of the line. It's not worth it. I'm gonna peel back to like a river defense, maybe hold Brussels no more if I can. These guys did just finish attacking me. You know what? They look suspiciously weak. So I'm going to try to push into this area. I will need fighters to just put up a small fighter screen to stop the enemy from casting me into oblivion. But I am losing hope that we can do this, if for no other reason that I cannot sustain this level of casualties. And the Allies are just continuously hounding the Soviets. I've decided to just build a couple of destroyers as well so I can get them out there like on patrol. Because I will need patrolling vessels to project power. The subs ain't doing it. Well, this is horrible. Soviets have capped. No. With the Soviets out of the running, it is essentially over. I'm gonna see what the peace deal ends up looking like. Oh, Germany, why? Why must you be the way that you are? And there's gonna be a massive Russian Federation here that will probably join the Allies as well. Good luck, Axis. We have 3.2 million men in the field. Our enemies have 27 million men. Also, I have figured out why Vichy France isn't working. They need to reclaim their capital. I don't know why. For some reason, the game defaults the Vichy capital to Kerguelen after they've lost Vichy or maybe Paris, and it will not revert back to their continental holdings until you take Kerguelen. We are not taking Kerguelen. That is simply not possible. So this is just fucked. At least on the bright side, though, I have managed to push out across the Maginot here. There was nothing there, so I did manage to grab a lot of land before they responded. The Democratic Japanese are in my faction because they were attacked by the Chinese. Why? I don't know why. At least the armor's really good. They should be able to shunt these guys aside relatively quickly. Like, they've concentrated a fuck ton of air here as well, so it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, enemy air is just taking massive chunks out of my tanks before we are able to do anything. Like, I'm winning the fight. At least it looks like I'll be winning the fight, and then just air immediately annihilates me, and I have no answer to this. So I'm being forced to try a new tack. On the bright side, the Allies have stopped attacking for a little bit. I think they're very much trying to clean this up. I have no idea why Vichy France sends its troops there to die. Concentrated armor push. 2 units here to push along these 3 tiles to Köln. 2 units here to push through Liège, Maastricht, and then to Köln. Ambitious, I know, only 2 units per tile, but in theory, those 2 units will never open up a lot of combat with. I've got a reasonable amount of fuel. So I'm getting the Navy to patrol here so I can project power. I have control of the sea zone, and I've been able to remove the garrisons from those coastal tiles. The AI won't be able to naval invade me there. But it allows me to shore up defenses elsewhere. I've just discovered a source of lend-lease that I should have tapped in maybe a little sooner. It would appear Agustin Pedro Justo of Argentina is a generous and benevolent man willing to leverage his country's not insignificant industrial assets to the war in Europe. A lot of it is going to get sunk, but a lot of it's going to reach me as well. Ooh, another lend-lease. Yes, please. It is February 48, and everything I've tried has failed. The tanks aren't getting through. The moment I run into an enemy modern or heavy tank division, they can no longer advance. The allies then stop attacking for a few months and build their planning bonus and then unleash a tidal wave of hurt upon my very fractious lines. The naval invasions haven't stopped either. If anything, they've gotten worse. Italy is relatively secure, but I've been pushed out of Venice. Had to fall back behind this river because it was not sustainable. Same with Egypt. I've been forced back behind the Suez, so I've had to build forts here just to hold. I've tried everything. The tanks, there's only 4 of them. Without air superiority, they can't go anywhere. I'm getting annihilated in the air. I'm getting absolutely... my ass is getting ripped to pieces by Cass. I still haven't gotten all the tech I need to get these damned airplanes done. I am begging you, if you play Hearts of Iron 4, please take an hour to learn how the air complements the army. The army itself is not going to do anything worthwhile if you have no air. I have taken like almost 2 million casualties throughout this playthrough. I've killed 5 million Americans, a good collection of Dutchmen, a bunch of Frenchmen, 1.5 million, a million Italians, like an assortment of everyone else really, and then 3.1 million British. But I can't do it. I cannot keep this up. The Italians are still not uncapitulated because of how capitulation works, or because I need to take literally everything of Italy back, and it's all over there, and I can't get to it. Like they got 30 divisions. Like whoop-de-fucking-do, Mussolini. You've got what, 4 million manpower? Do something with it if you would. Yeah, a third of their mills are just destroyed from bombing. The French are even more worthless. They have 4 million men available. They have 114 mills fully operational. They got 20 divisions. They cannot deploy their troops. The only place they can deploy troops is over here. This is apparently also where the Japanese fleet is. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to concede here. I've spent an inordinate amount of time trying to make this work. I cannot go forward. The tanks won't do anything. I take a tile, they funnel 15 divisions back into it. The armor they have, I can't really do anything about. I can pierce them, but they can pierce me, meaning the offensives always run out. I'm going to try one more time to make something happen that I can take out this little section of the Maginot as my little victory. Well, this is gonna be it. If we can make it through here, through this very dense thicket of... Oh my god, are we through? We are through. So... What has it cost me? Everything. But what did we gain? Full encirclement of what remains of the Maginot, such as it is, along with the... I really don't know how many divisions that is, but we got them. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. Big as a blow as that might be, in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing for the Allies. You know, look at what they've got over here. I am a crumbling force, but still, we'll give it a go. We'll see what we end up killing. Yeah, for all the forts this place has, it doesn't really stand up to tanks that can be pierced. But I was able to shunt them off Metz easily enough. We'll let the armor recover because I have taken some armor damage. I am taking a pasting out there, though. I have noticed, though, that Germany, even with this little bit of land it's got, has made 61 divisions, despite having... I mean, they've got something going for them, I guess. But they've already been beaten to a pulp. But unlike the Italians or the French, Germany's actually trying. Alright, so that is apparently 50 divisions that we've got through this whole song and dance. Oh, God, I've lost the Low Countries. Well, I can use it as a kill box, I guess. Hit Ghent, encircle, pull back. The manpower is almost gone. I have a few percent more to mobilize. The resources are severely strained. I'm out of AA equipment. I have thousands of it missing, and I am short almost 1,000 support equipment despite even pulling it from our infantry divisions. I pulled maintenance companies from my infantry divisions. I don't even know why I did that. Well, I do know why, because I had like 3,000 equipment short. I don't even know what to do. How much would that cost me? It's like 3,000 to equip everyone. Yeah. I'm not feeling it, boss. Well, the killing proceeds. That's like what? Oh my god, 41 plus what I've already killed. What was that? That was 500,000 men in Flanders. I didn't steal their equipment because I'm an idiot and I removed my equipment stealing abilities. Maybe if I can get the Belgians to capitulate another time, I can liberate their hordes of equipment, maybe? Advance the line. The armor can push as long as they're like not getting pierced. They can shunt infantry aside easily enough, even under red air. But you need a little bit of luck and a lot of perseverance to do it. Yeet and delete. There we go. Wish I had more of them, but I cannot realistically produce more of them. I'm short on just about anything, everything. Yeah, we're dead. I can't outproduce this. I don't have the industry for this, nor the manpower, nor the inclination to just keep this going. You know, I've just seen what they've got stacked on these islands. I mean, they're trapped there. I control these two siege zones for the most part, so at least they're out of my hair. But holy shit, they can afford to waste like 80 divisions, and I'm fighting for my life here. That's another like 35 divisions we've got in a port here. So huzzah, Dieppe retaken. Holy shit. Okay, that's Belgium out. Hit them at the right place at the right time. Doesn't change much other than, I don't know, maybe we took some of their equipment off them? I don't even know. What's the point of this anymore? But it should have deleted a couple of divisions out of the enemy's army, at the very least. The armor is taking more damage than it could ever possibly hope to cope with. I just love it when they just shunt aside these stacks like they're not there. Armor is so good, but I cannot hold this long term. The terrain is so shit. Because of all the rivers and the forests, it's very hard to create large scale encirclements here as well. If I had another stack of 4 tanks, I could create like really cute little pincers. They just have so much. The allies just have so much. It's not fair. Yeah, like this is just unsustainable. Up north, there's nothing I can do up there. I am just about ready to start crying, dude. It's October 1948. I'm throwing in the towel. I cannot hold this. I'm being pushed. I have killed I've killed 5 million allied soldiers since I've started trying to encircle the Maginot. It doesn't matter. My industry cannot keep up with the losses. I don't have the equipment to produce more men. I've already been playing for hours and hours and hours and hours, and all I've gotten for my efforts, it's just a grind wheel slowly wearing down the effectiveness of my army. It's over. I can't fight this. All of these countries combined into one big fucking Voltron. I cannot do it. I'm going to concede here and say this cannot be won. Feel free to prove me wrong. I'll leave a link to the Disaster Savior file down below. This is my failure, my moment of shame. I can't do it. And I have been mentally worn down to the point that I don't even want to do it. This is just too much. These tanks are great. They do their job really well. I would have liked this to be a heavy tank destroyer. It would have been better, yes. Unfortunately, you know, I'm constrained by time, research, and resources. Anyway, if you guys want to see more disaster saves like this one where I can't pull it out of the bag, that would make my selection of these files a whole lot easier. Hopefully you still learned something from what I changed, what I did to get from, I don't know, the Pyrenees to where we are now, even though in the end, I tried so hard and it doesn't even matter. Leave a like, consider subscribing, really helps out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.